Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope everyone's had a great day so far. It's another beautiful evening in the state of Georgia. We're actually been having some spring-like temperatures on our side, so it seems that spring is on its way. Today, I'm gonna just do a quick clip on basically going through and discarrying a plot, or three of my plots that I'm going to use this year for my summertime gardening. And I actually might be trying to get some spring turnips in. But I'm kind of running behind, but you know how that is when in regards to farming and things like that. Also, I'm gonna talk about bolting and what bolting is. So stay tuned. Okay, everyone, this is the field that I had my greens in, well, still have greens in which I planted back here in October. Of course, y'all probably wonder, for those who don't know, y'all probably wondering what in the world is this, are these things coming out of the top of the collard plant. Y'all say hello to Tom. Say hello, Tom. Tom is my cat. But anyway, basically these are seeds. And this is the these are actually the stage, or the reproductive stage that these plants are going in. In the previous clip, you heard me talk about bolting. Now, bolting is pretty much just basically when brassicas, so turnips, collards, mushrooms, cabbage, they go to a seed head. And this is how it looks. So it's basically just putting on seed. In a couple days or a week or so, you'll be able to see them a little better. But this is just a close clip of how it looks. I actually was in the process of mowing these down the other day, and a couple people rolled past the house and they pulled up and said, "Hey, are you still selling greens?" I said, "Well, I was getting ready to cut them down because and start over." They're like, no, let me get some of them. And actually, this is my first time, or this was my first time actually having people still want greens that have gone to a seed head. And so I talked with a couple of individuals that purchased some of the greens from last week and asked them, well, how did the greens taste? And they told me they were tender and good. So I might try to hold on to them a little bit longer, but I do have plans for this field. This is planting season. I'm planning to go ahead and put corn out here again this is the last season I have corn out here, and then I'll rotate. So I'll probably give about another couple of days before I actually start cutting them down. If you can see over here, I actually started doing a little harrowing, and so I was harrowing when the individuals pulled up and asked me where I was going to sell greens. And these are actually some turnip greens that came up. We had like an extremely cold snap back in December. I think it's like 17 or in the low 20 for like 2 or 3 days. A lot of people's pipes burst in our area, and it just burnt everything. It burnt these greens back so bad that they actually kind of resembled tobacco when they were drying down. And I thought they were done, but they came back, and then they started going to a seed head. So these are turnip greens that were actually planted back in October, and they never did get harvested because of the cold snap, but they ended up coming back. And y'all can see the insect pressure on them and everything. All right, YouTube fans, this is actually one of my plots that I was passing on the way to get on my tractor. I've actually made a couple passes on this area right here before the rain came in on last week, and it still need a little bit more work done to it. As if y'all heard me say before, I have a lot of heavy clay up here, and I'm trying my best to incorporate more and more organic matter into the soil to make it easier to improve the tilth of it and to make it easier to work in process as well, for a lot to just kind of make it more coarse and stuff, so it won't hold water extremely bad. Over this area I had plastic mulch here last year, and I went through and pulled it up, and then after I bottom plowed it, I ended up pulling some more to the top. So this is actually my first year using plastic mulch. I liked it pretty good. It did good. I grew tomatoes on it, peppers on it, watermelons did extremely well. Didn't need much fertilizer. However, did pretty good with weed pressure. However, the only downside that I had with it was that we ended up getting like a week of rain, and the ground was so saturated, and that water, and the soil up under the plastic was so saturated, and the plants couldn't pull that water from the root zone fast enough. They actually started to wilt, and some actually died because the ground was so saturated with water. So that was the only downside to it. The plants that I grew on plastic actually were about 2 weeks ahead of other plants that I didn't plant on plastic. So I might go with plastic again this year. I really haven't made my mind up. If I do, it'll be a biodegradable type of plastic. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure y'all wondering what I'm doing with these leaves out here in this water, in these bags. My next door neighbor has a leaf catcher. He was catching leaves up out of his yard. And he asked me, I actually saw him out at the extension office, and we were talking about soil tests. And he said he was actually on the way to throw these leaves in the dumpster. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to pay, just bring them out of the house and I'll use them, because I got a couple areas that got, like I said, heavy clay that I want to introduce more organic matter into. So he brought them by, and I'm in the process of throwing them out, so in order to get ready to till them in. All right, everyone, the number one thing before ever operating a piece of equipment is to do a pre-trip inspection. Now, I've already done my pre-trip inspection, in which I've checked the oil, checked the hydraulic fluid, checked the battery, checked the coolant, all of that. So always make sure you check your stuff before you operate your machine, because hey, the way things are and how expensive they are now, you don't want anything to tear up on you. y'all, I know it's kind of low light out here, but basically what was going on, I had bottom plowed this piece of ground, with all the ground I was talking about earlier, last week, and I went ahead and broke it because of the amount of moisture was in the ground. This piece of garden right here, you have to work it a certain way because of the heavy clay in it. And I've been working for several years to build up the tilth in it. So I have to hit this or basically like deep ripping and deep bottom plow it earlier in the spring so that I can cross cut it and harrow it and smooth it to have the soil soft enough where I can plant something for a summer crop. So like I said, basically what was going on, I had bottom plowed it and I was basically going up and down, overlapping, harrowing it. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cross cut it, and I'm gonna go behind it and rototill it, and smooth it off, and after that I'm gonna plant it. I haven't really made up my mind what I'm gonna plant here yet. I'm really probably thinking about okra. I'm thinking about doing a lot of okra this year. But before this all said and done, my next video, it'll be over soil test, because I do need a soil test before I do my final pass on it, to see what I need, see what my pH is, and which I'm late on my pH. You're supposed to do your pH in the fall to give it a time to adjust, because as I learned in college, it takes about I'd say about between 4 to 6 months, somewhere around that nature, for the lime to start working and raise the soil pH. Being in the southeast, majority of people's soil, or southeast soil, is basically 9 times out of 10 more acidic than alkaline because of humidity, temperature, and just the natural element of nature within the southeast. All right, check y'all later. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.